And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today we take a look at the second expansion for Zooloretto Exotic Animals. Now that sounds really cool, and some of the tiles in this expansion are really cool. Part of the expansion is used with the Zooloretto XXL expansion, but you don't need that. This is an expansion that adds the little meeple guys from Carcassonne, although these are smaller than those. They actually look, I like these, how these look a lot. Let's take a look at what this game does, or this expansion does, and we'll be right back. Here you have the zoo from the original game. You're going to add 3 pieces and add a jungle section to the zoo. These 3 fit in. When you actually add this zoo, the whole thing looks good. All fits together. Even though this extra puzzle piece at top, I'm still not sure what that's for. Maybe they added a little expansion I don't know about later on. But this expansion is going to add visitors to your zoo. There's visitors that come in different colors, although you will only use the yellow ones if you are also using the Zooloretto XXL expansion. So what you're going to have are these visitors are going to be coming and visiting your zoo, and they'll be stopping at these little viewpoints. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, down here, ooh, up here, 5, and then exiting your zoo. You want these visitors in your zoo because at the end of the game, you're going to get points for each different color in your zoo. So if this is the way it was at the end of the game, I would get 6 points, 2, 4, 6. The first person to get one out of their zoo is going to get a bonus tile of that type, and there's 1 for each color. And if that's the case, let's say I have the yellow bonus tile, I will also get 2 points for each yellow one that's in my zoo. Now there's a whole pile of these guys in your zoo. Now how do you get them to come in your zoo? Well, there's 2 ways. One way is whenever you add a concession stand to your zoo. So when I add a concession stand to my zoo, and this concession stand is one that's available in the XXL expansion, that's why each one has a matching color. So when I put that one in, I get to bring a yellow guy into the zoo and move him 2 spaces. If I bring in this one over here, I look at my little chart here to show me which color that brings in. That brings in the red one. What do you get to come in? 2 spaces. If I already had a yellow one, I put another yellow one in. The yellow one will get to move 2 spaces. But also, this game, rather than just using concession stands, has a whole pile of tiles that you add to the regular game. These are jungle tiles, and you can tell by their background. There's 2 of each type, and they're really neat animals. I mean, you can see here that we got an orangutan and a boa constrictor and a gibbon and bats and aardvarks. So when you get one of these off of a truck, you must add it to your zoo. You can only have 3 different animals in your jungle area, although there are 5 different spots. And every time you add an animal, you can pick any color and move that one 2 spots. And everyone else who has that color must move theirs back 1 spot. So that's how you get people in your zoo, by taking these jungle animals and by taking the concession stands. Now, just as a reference, these animals aren't worth any points at the end of the game. However, you will lose points for different types that you have in your barn, which could be problematic because there's a whole lot more types now in the game, although there's fewer in a 2, 3, or 4 player game. So you're taking these jungle animals, putting them here. That attracts visitors to your zoo, where they will want to come and look at them. And like I said, this adds more points for the visitors and for these bonus tiles, and gives you more ways to lose points if you have these jungle animals in your barn. Alright, talking about the Exotic Animals expansion for Zooloretto. It's better than the XXL expansion, but not an essential one, which, as I said in my other reviews of the Zooloretto expansions, none of them really feel that way. But the one thing this expansion does do is it has all those cool new animals. See, one of the visceral things about Zooloretto is when you play the game, it's fun to get pandas and elephants and lions. It's cool to get that. So now when you get a cool boa constrictor or, a koala bear, that just has a good feel about it. That's something that people are going to enjoy, to add these new animals to their zoo. And the fact that makes your zoo look bigger, the whole thing just has a strong thematic flair to it. It's less thematic about these visitors. It's like, oh wow, visitors are coming in, they're going out, and I'm getting points for moving them out, and why do I want to do that? And that the whole point thing is, I wish the animals themselves had been points somehow, because that would have made getting them interesting. Moving the people through is okay. Like I said, it's a cool, neat theme to add these extra animals, but moving the visitors through almost felt like a mechanic, while getting the exotic animals felt like theme. And they didn't mesh together as well as I thought. Besides, getting the vendor stands makes people move. Because, I don't know. It's not that it's a bad expansion. It's just that Zooloretto is really good played by itself. This is the biggest of the big expansions. This is the one that I would put before XXL. I haven't played the Boss, which is the third big expansion, but I would play this if nothing else just because I want to have a koala in my zoo.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.